It's been a while since I've talked about books that I've read and book reviews, so we're gonna do a couple book reviews in this vlog, and I'm not gonna show them to you all at once. This is gonna be the first one that you see, and then I'm gonna space it out with the other clips in this vlog, so that way you're not just getting like all book all at once. But my book goal this year was to read like 15 books, and currently I'm reading, I think it's book 12 out of 15, so I've almost met my goal, which is nice. But the last 2 books I think I read are what I'm gonna talk about. Maybe 3. Well, we're at least gonna go with 2. But the first one that I want to talk about is Daisy Jones and the Six, which I believe is by Taylor Jenkins Reid, who wrote The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Daisy Jones and the Six, I was not anticipating the style of that book. So basically the entire book is almost done like through an interview perspective, where it'd be like, say you were interviewing 5 people and or 3 people, I don't know, and person A, B, and C, or who you're talking to, it'd be like person A, what they have to say, person B, what they have to say, person C, you know, and whatever. But the whole book was basically set out in like an interview kind of perspective, which I thought was really neat. At first, to be honest, it was really hard for me to like visualize. Like when I read, I'm a very, very visual reader. It's like a movie in my brain, and sometimes I kind of forget where I am because I just have such an image of my head of what I'm reading, and just reading the names and trying to understand like who was talking, how they related to each other. I almost felt like I needed kind of like a chart to like relate the characters, have a list of who they were, like how they related to the story, and like where they were fitting in. Eventually, I honestly just figured it out, but I really, really, really liked that book. It was, I think I saw online somewhere that Daisy Jones and the Six is like very loosely set around the like real story of like Stevie Nicks and Fleetwood Mac. Apparently, the book is now like an Amazon Prime show, I think, and like all the music in the book is like actually real now because they like made it. Anywho, I forgot what I was saying, but yeah, the interview style was hard for me to wrap my head around, and it was, oh, that's what it was. It was really cool to know that like they made a show with all the music, and the author like wrote basically all the lyrics and the whole album of the music. But I don't know, I thought it was really good. I definitely felt captivated by the story. I appreciated the story for what it was. If you're listening, if you've never read Daisy Jones and the Six, if you plan to read it, like obviously stop listening. Or if you just want to hear what I'm going to have to say, like you can keep listening, it's your choice. But Daisy Jones and the Six is about like these 2 brothers. They're like the Dune brothers, and they have this band, and eventually it like progresses to a point where they're like a pretty big rock band, but like to make it even bigger, they have to partner with this girl named Daisy Jones. And the band that they had previously formed called The Six merged with Daisy Jones and became Daisy Jones and the Six. But it talks a lot about their struggles with like drugs and alcohol and addiction, and about their complicated ties with each other, and like how people view the same story like differently. And all in all, I just thought it was a really, really, really captivating read. I really liked it, and I would recommend it. So my friend like teaches dance, and her group is performing at the Philadelphia Ganesh Festival. So I'm here at the Hindu temple, and I'm gonna wait and watch the performance. I told you that there were going to be 2 different book reviews in this vlog, so now we're going to talk about book number 2, which is The Last Thing He Told Me by, I believe it's Laura Davies. I could be wrong. But anywho, The Last Thing He Told Me was honestly such a really good book. I was very, very, very surprised because I kind of thought it would be like a rom-com book, and a lot of the books that I've been reading this summer have been like rom-com-y, like somewhat romancy, a little bit smutty, but like they've just been like love stories of like, oh, I lost connection with this guy, and then like, you know, the connection's back or whatever. But this book was different. It was a mystery, which I was very pleasantly surprised by. Basically, the whole premise of the story is like this woman who's like a new stepmom to this young girl, and who's married to this guy. She gets like a piece of paper one day, and on the piece of paper, all it says is the words "protect her." And her husband disappears, and she has to figure out like what's going on. But the one thing she does know is that protect her is definitely referring to her stepdaughter. So it's like a big mystery to figure out, why did he disappear? What's going on? Like, how do I protect this girl? And I felt like I flew through that book because there was just so much suspense. There were so many plot twists. There was just so much I wasn't expecting, and I genuinely enjoyed it. Yeah, I thought it was a good read, and I really liked those two. Hi! You guys haven't been in this view, I think, in for like quite a while, but I have an audition today, which is something I don't usually get to say, and I'm honestly really nervous about it. It's like an audition for a singing competition called The Star, and it's pretty local, and I don't know, I'm just like afraid that they're not gonna like me, that they're not gonna like what I have to offer. Also, I have a kettle going in the back, so that's probably what you're hearing. But I figured I'd share with you guys my audition song. It's gonna be Diamonds by Rihanna, and I only have 60 seconds, and here we go. And I'm gonna be using like actual music to accompany me with, but I'll just sing a cappella for you guys. Palms rise to the universe as we moonshine Emily, feel the warmth that never dies. We're like diamonds in the sky. You're a shooting star, I see a vision of ecstasy. When you hold me, I'm alive. We're like diamonds in the sky. At first sight, I felt the energy of summer haze. I saw the life inside, so shine bright. Tonight, you and I, we're beautiful like diamonds in the sky. I do, I, so alive. We're beautiful like diamonds in the sky. Also, I love that the steam was in that shot. That was really funny. That was an effect. Those were like, I told you I had a kettle going. That's what that was. But we're gonna get dressed up soon to go to this audition. I'm gonna get there like an hour early because that's just how I am. And we'll go in, we'll do our thing. And I should find out tomorrow if I'm in the competition or not, but we shall see. Now the third read, this is a bonus read for you, that I'm gonna talk about is a book called Counting On by Jill Duggar. And I'm gonna be very clear here that the Duggars obviously are a very controversial family. There's a lot of things that have happened with the Duggar family. But if you've seen the Netflix documentary, Shiny Happy People, where Jill Duggar like came out and talked about a lot of her upbringing and how she basically was raised in like a cult, you'll know when I say that she's like very removed from that situation. But she wrote a book called I think it's called Counting the Cost, and it like just got released, I think within like a week ago. And I knew the moment I saw it, it was something I was going to be interested in, because like I grew up watching like 19 Kids Encounter or whatever, and I loosely followed some of the Duggar girls like when the show ended. But once I saw Shiny Happy People, I was like, I really want to know more about what's going on with this whole situation, and like for these girls to come out and speak against the cult that they were raised in, like it's not easy. And I think, like, I'm not gonna lie, I read that whole book in a single day, and I was very surprised at how she like crafted the book. I thought how she did it was very well, where it took her readers through like everything from like her childhood to early adult life to meeting her husband to having her first child, and then going through all the struggles of being raised in like a cult family, and the struggles of dealing with her dad, and how her dad's for sure not like is too caught up in the cult in a way, is for sure too caught up in a cult to understand that like he needs to be better for his kids. But it was a really interesting read. It was captivating. I'm not usually one to read like people's memoirs or people's like tell-all books. That's not usually something I read. But when I read the first couple pages and like a sample on Amazon, I was like, oof, we need to dive into this. So I think it was, I read Daisy Jones and the Six. I think I read The Last Thing He Told Me, and then Counting the Cost. And I probably finished all those books for sure within the last like 3 weeks. I've been trying really hard to like read before I go to bed, or like just dedicate more time to reading, and like now Like now I'm reading The Tattooist of Auschwitz, but I hope that you guys have enjoyed these book reviews. Do you have any book recommendations? Do you have any questions about the books that I've read? I'd like to know, so let me know. Also, this light is really washing me out. I feel so pale. And also my sweatshirt's just really bulky, but I feel really pale. Anywho, off to reading. Excuse the wet hair because I just took a shower, but I did not make it into that competition, which is okay. It's a learning experience. And honestly, it was really interesting because I got up there, I like had the audition song that I was like prepared to sing. I sang it and they're like, what else do you got? Luckily, I'm a performer, so I have like a 2-hour set list. And I brought my computer, so I was able to sing like a couple other things. Unfortunately, it's not what they were looking for, but that's okay. That's gonna be it for the vlog for this week. Really, I guess it just kind of turned into like a big book update because I talked about my reading goal. I've shared with you like 3 books that I have read in like the past couple weeks. And I think I'm gonna try to start incorporating like book reviews more into my vlogs because I've just been reading so much. I've just been trying to like carve out more time for it. I'm currently reading the book It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey, and it's very steamy, but yeah, I'm gonna try to like include these reviews more. But we're gonna close the vlog out here. I will talk to you guys next week. I hope that you have a wonderful week, and I will talk to you soon.